This morning, we're going to begin the markup of the Ratepayer Protection Act, a bill that will add several important safeguards to EPA's proposed clean power plan for existing electric generation. Now, we've had 6 hearings that relate to this issue, and we've heard from a lot of legal experts, and obviously there are different views on the legality of this clean energy plan. But I must say the disagreement has been pretty ferocious, and many people view this as an unprecedented action by EPA. We've heard from state officials who've been warning that the rule's accelerated deadlines are not workable for many of them and will create significant issues for them. We've heard from entities like Seminole Electric down in Florida about the loss of assets after spending billions of dollars modernizing their equipment to now find that they're going to lose these assets. We've heard spokesmen for ratepayers concerned about increased electric rates and reliability problems. I think NERC today came out with another report expressing concern about possible reliability issues because the administration is moving so quickly. As you know, when they finalize this rule, they're only giving states 13 months to submit their state implementation plan. Frequently, they have up to 3 years to do that. Now, if they do multi-state, they can get a couple years extension, but we have the states on a very short time frame here. So our bill basically, because of the controversy on the legality, basically says the states do not have to comply or submit an implementation plan until the courts have exhausted, the ratepayers and others have exhausted their remedies in the court system. Then the timeline would kick in. And we also say to the state governors, many of them have talked to us, many of them have filed suits, many of them are going to file suits once the rule becomes final, that if they show that rates and reliability would be significantly and adversely affected by this rule, then they can take action to delay implementation and continue to work with the EPA on that. And I don't know, many of you may have seen how China recently has developed the Asian Investment and Infrastructure Bank. The Obama administration tried to prevent countries from joining in. 57 countries have now joined into this bank. And one of the reasons the bank is being formed, but not the only reason, is because the administration, the Obama administration, working with Jim Yong Kim, the president of the World Bank, have told the developing world that they're not going to be financing any coal-fired plants, which really has been unheard of in developing countries. And the developing countries are saying, you know, we have millions of people that do not have access to any electricity or clean water, and we view this as more important to us than climate change. And yet the World Bank and these other Asian Development Bank and others are not providing any financing. So this China Investment and Infrastructure Bank, they're going to start financing coal-fired plants in the developing countries. And many of you may have read just a couple of days ago where they reached an agreement in Pakistan. And they're going to put up $38 billion to build roughly 6,000 megawatts of new coal-generating plants in Pakistan. And then they also are having discussions with the Indian government. And in India, they're talking about developing 455 new coal-generating plants. So we find ourselves in a dichotomy of we have the USA that's basically saying we're going to shut down coal plants. We have the developing areas of the world and other countries wanting to build coal-fired plants. So that's why many of us view this energy plan by EPA and by the President as being extreme, and that's why I think this common sense legislation provides additional protections and slows down the rush